A lovely good morning. Welcome to Camnet Breakfast on not just another channel, Camnet TV. I'm your host. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and yes, of course, I'm not alone on set. I'm joined by the award-winning journalist Patrick Soko. I feel nice when I'm introducing you because
just like I feel nice whenever you are introducing me.
You have been popping awards. I forgot to congratulate you on your second one. I'm just like, the big boys. How have you been?
I've been okay, and you?
I've been great, thank you. How has been your week?
The week has been hectic. We've been pushing a lot of stories.
Yeah. After Easter holiday, how was it?
After
coming back to reality.
Exactly. You see, after Easter, it was a bit slow. You have to see whom you can interview. You go into communities. But we managed though to pull through. People are usually relaxing on holidays, and we are the active ones. So yes, we just had to keep up. Exactly.
A lot has been going on with the current is the protest that went on at in town, rather near intercity bus terminals, where some cowboys were actually chased from the bus stations. Quite an interesting story. I heard you guys were running around yesterday.
Interesting stories we had in the news, where the local government ministry and the Lusaka City Council were actually trying to address these issues that are usually more frequent at bus stations. And the intercity bus terminus is one of is Zambia's largest bus station. And a lot of activities there, according to the minister. Issues to do with illegality, such as selling of drugs, were emerging in the area, and they wanted to clamp down on them. So we just those are stories we're going to be zooming in a little later. Another one on the demolition, where the suspected former Patriotic Front members were doing things with impunity by allocating themselves land, and they went ahead to construct against the council's directive. They undertook a demolition there. That was another trending story, Precious, there.
Yes, of course. And also another one which caught my attention personally is where Mr. Gary Nkombo, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, shut down some UPND offices. And to my surprise, I didn't know they're actually still there, considering the fact that the president mentioned in his speech after him being sworn in that he wants to end CADERISM in these places, which is the bus stations and the markets. To my surprise, I didn't know that actually continued.
You saw when you saw
Vaima, most of the time, boss, Nimonkala. That was an interesting conversation.
Yes, it was. Just now we go with on our first segment, we call Morning Boost with Isaac Machisa. Matsa or Machisa? Okay, whatever. Let's go on that.
It's a beautiful morning, and I welcome you to Morning Boost. I'm so glad that you've tuned in and hope you had a great night. So let's do some workouts this morning, and we're going to have a great time. So we're going to start with a warm-up and then make some aerobics movements for today. Okay, ready? Let's go. A beautiful morning to everybody, and welcome to Morning Boost. Let's go. Go. And the V step now. Let's go. Last V step. Back to step touch. V step. Let's go. Let's go. And marching. And 4, 3, 2, step touch, go. Bring in your hands now. Let's go. Let's go. Just a quick workout in the morning. Not a full-fledged workout, no. Keep going. And 4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. Four, 3, 2, step touch. Four, 3, 2, and hamstring. And 4, 3, 2, step touch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep going. Stay at it. Go. Easy basic workouts for the morning. And marching. Skip, jump now. Go. Let's go. Skip. Try this. Even if you feel heavy in your body, you can do this. Let's go. There's always a first time. You may struggle, but it's doable. Let's go. And 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Change now. Let's go. Very easy for a morning workout. Lift your knee very high. Go. Let's go. Stay at it. Stay at it. We're going to bring in a kick now from a knee high to a kick. Go. Go. Let's go. Let there be a blood circulation on your legs so that you don't have that numbness you feel at times. Kick. 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 Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Straight kicks now. Go. Straight kicks. Go in the sides. Okay, keep going. Almost done with our 5 minutes workout. Knee high. Try this every morning. It's gonna do wonders to your body. Let's go, we're almost there. All right, team. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is Isaac Matsa, your presenter. I'm gonna see you next time at the same time, and have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Welcome back. You are watching the Camnet Breakfast, and we were just taking our first segment with Isaac Machisa. He never disappoints in terms of helping us exercise early in the morning. You don't have to wait for the Camnet Breakfast to ensure that you also do a workout. You can do it at your own time. But those drills can help us just get into the mood, because they're just a 5 minutes workout, and they're key towards us combating non-communicable diseases and be able to stay healthy and fit rather. Precious.
Yes, of course. And also looking at the current situation, where we are yet to hear the report of the COVID-19 update as of today. I feel there has been an outbreak of COVID, and yesterday we recorded one death of unvaccinated man, 40-year-old. So for those that haven't gotten their vaccination, who are skeptical about it because they don't have enough information, you can actually query at the health centers just to find out what you need to find out on the vaccination. But I feel it's important that you get vaccinated. And also on the other side, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we've got got so many stuff outlined for you. And also remember that you can get in touch with us via our Facebook platform, which is Camnet TV if you haven't liked the page yet, or you can call us direct like on the show right here on 0968 675 273. That's 0968 675 273. And our topic of discussion is actually your views on government's approach of combating CADERISM, looking at the protests that went on after some cowboys were actually chased from the bus terminals. Now, moving on to our next segment, which is the Health Corner, we'll be talking about phobias. I'll ask Patrick Soko if he knows this phobia, but we'll join you on the other side.
Exactly.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Marie Mukandila. I'm yet here again to bring to you another interesting topic, and that is phobia. Phobia to see a dentist or phobia to visit any clinic or health. So what I would like to say is that previously we talked to you about oral ulcers, when to see your dentist, or when to seek for help when you have ulcers in the mouth. But today I'm bringing an interesting topic which I believe community out there and people out there, even the viewers out there, they need to be aware of it. We've got a very big challenge, especially when it's come to the dental fraternity on its own, when it's come to our patients. Most of our patients have got phobia. You know, I think it's because of so many myths that is out there in the community. Because in the community, there's so many things that happened. You find that someone will tell you, I've come to have my tooth treatment, but I'm scared. I don't want even to be injected, I'm scared. You'll be shocked. You ask, okay, why are you scared? The response you get is that I'm scared because I was told if I remove the tooth, I'll die. Or my neighbor died after removing a tooth. I'm here to bring awareness that there is no such thing. There is no such thing that if you come for your dental treatment, then it means you are going to die. No. I'm emphasizing again, there is no such thing. All those myths people talk about in rural areas, in communities, it does not happen. To have your oral checkup or your cavity removed or any treatment you're going to have when you go to a dentist, it doesn't mean that after the treatment you're going to collapse and you die. No. For one to come to a dental clinic or any other hospital where they offer dental services, you are coming to people who have been trained, people who know what they are doing. So we encourage patients out there not to have a phobia. For a child, I understand, because children have got a phobia to injection. Once they just see that injection, they will cry, they will scream, they don't even want you to touch them. But that does not mean that after your treatment of your tooth, then something wrong is going to happen to you. No, it is not true and it will not happen. When we talk about how has COVID affected us as a dental fraternity everywhere, as you may all know that we do not have social distance. Because I work in the mouth, so I would not stand 1 meter and then my patient is outside, then I will do my work. It's not possible. Meaning that we've got very higher risk of contacting the same COVID. But because of everything around us, at least we've got things that we are using. We can put on our shield. We can go ahead and do some procedures. We can put on our PEP equipment and we can go on and do the procedures. But the only thing that we encourage our patient is that they should not be scared. I know fear is there. Fear of the unknown. You don't know how that tooth will come out, or you don't know if the tooth will come out. But when you come to a hospital, you are guaranteed that your treatment will be given to you. And the phobia should at least come out. And we expect our patient, when they come, for them to know that it's just a normal routine checkup. It's not always that we always remove teeth. No, it is not always. There are so many treatments that we offer in dentistry. It is not only removing teeth. I will emphasize, no. The only problem that we have is that a patient will come to you, the tooth is already worn out, and they want to save it. But how are you going to do it? That's why we are encouraging everyone. Once you notice you've got a small cavity on your tooth, you need to visit any nearest clinic. The tooth can be saved. We can do a restoration filling on that tooth. We can save the tooth. We can even do a root canal treatment on that tooth. We can save your tooth. Usually extraction is our last treatment, whereby we've noticed that there's nothing we can do on this particular tooth. It needs to come out. Then that's when we remove. But mostly we need to treat it stage by stage. So our patient out there, our communities out there, they all need to be sensitized on oral health awareness, oral health diseases. There's so many diseases that happen in the mouth. I cannot explain everything today. There are so many kind of diseases that we have in the mouth. But for one to prevent all those diseases, you need to visit your nearest clinic. A health practitioner is supposed to explain to you what you're supposed to do. That phobia we have is because of myths we are hearing from our neighbors, our grandparents. They're just myths. They're not real. That's why we encourage patients, do not stay home because you've got a toothache which is paining and which has developed into an ulcers or into a Ludwig angina. You stay home. No. Once you have any problem with your tooth, whether you have phobia, you will need to come to the clinic. You will need to be seen. The tooth needs to be treated. The earlier you do it, the better. Mind you, oral health is cheaper when you do it early. When you delay the treatment, that's when it becomes expensive. But oral health is cheaper. When you notice you've got something with your tooth, have courage. Just walk to the hospital and have it checked. You'll be surprised that actually maybe you have just pockets. Those are just infection between your gums. You'll be surprised that you have maybe sensitive teeth and you think my tooth has to be removed. So all those things can only be availed to you if you come to the clinic and you get correct treatment. As I come to conclusion with everything that I have explained to the viewers out there, the community out there, I will emphasize that we should take care of our hygiene. Our oral hygiene is as essential as taking care of our health. It is also part of our health. Let us not forget to do these little things, to brush, to consult a dentist, to go for just a checkup, to do all these little things. Let us remember that as much as we are eating, that's the same way we're supposed to take care of our teeth. Because if we do not do those things, having a tooth being treated will be very expensive than you when you are busy having it checked. Because checkup doesn't cost anything much. You just go, they check it out, they will tell you if it needs cleaning, they'll do professional cleaning on you. If it needs filling, a filling can be done on that tooth for you. So I will encourage each and everyone out there to try in your busy schedules, in whatever you do, have time. When you go to a clinic, check out your teeth as well. Just pass to any facility and have your teeth checked. It's very important. And to our expectant mothers out there, I will emphasize, do not stay with the cavity because you have a phobia. If they remove my tooth, I will have a miscarriage, or maybe I will die or anything. No. You can have a small cavity, a filling can be put for you, and you'll be fine. We don't want patients to come with abscesses, Ludwig's angina because of just a small cavity, and also ignorance. That's why we are here, especially in this month of oral health awareness. We are encouraging everyone, have chance, take the opportunity, go to any nearest clinic or hospital, have your tooth checked. As we conclude, I thank you everyone for taking their time to listen to what I had to say. Hey.
Well, there you have it. Now, I know quite a number of people that have got toothaches and have been having toothaches for the longest time, and they have phobia of tooth extraction. So I hope that a health corner has taught you one or two things on why it is important to actually visit a dental clinic to sort out your tooth issues.
Exactly, Precious. Yeah. It is important that you get checked. You don't have to be afraid. Don't fear from far, because sometimes people just imagine there are
quite a number of myths about tooth.
Yes, a lot of them. I mean, extracting my tooth. Yeah. How painful is it?
I remember my friend saying they get a hammer, and then I've forgotten what other tooth. Those tools the computers use, and then they put it in your tooth, and then they start. Yeah, that's what people say. Those are some of the
those are just imaginary things. I think, like the doctor said. So you just have to get to the health center. They help you with the right medicine or treatment, because at the end of the day, not all teeth issues or rather dental issues cannot be handled the same. They vary with the kind of the condition you may be having. So it's better the dentist helps you out to understand. So this is the condition you have, and this is how we treat it. And treatment is not painful.
Yeah, I'm hoping that if you have a tooth issue, you can actually visit a dental clinic and they'll help you out. Talking about phobia, what is your phobia?
Is it hydrophobia?
Aquaphobia, fear of water?
Aquaphobia, yes.
And then which other one do you have?
Heights.
So you can't go for bungee jumping?
No. Can you?
It's fun. I've done that before, so. I went for zip lining. Yeah, so bungee jumping is... Even jumping out of the plane, I wouldn't mind doing that.
You can do a parachute arrangement.
Yeah. So you can't. I think you would pass out.
Like you.
I have a fear of snakes, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a fear of snakes.
Can you imagine your fear of lizards? And how do you handle those guys in your roof?
Your phobia. You know, I just look at them and I'm like, it will go away. I'm not going to do anything, it will go away. The one that caught my attention is when Isaac, when he came through earlier, when he spoke about the fear of goats. What did you say?
Gotephobia. That's not the one, though. Yeah.
Patrick says the fear of goats is gotephobia.
But that would be in the language of the Americans.
It's capraphobia.
Exactly. But that one is under the Americans. The local Americans dictionary.
Goats. What are the goats meat though? So yeah, there are quite a number of phobias people get to have. You might have one or two, like Patrick Soko, who has a fear of water, aquaphobia, and then also the fear of heights. I've forgotten.
Exactly.
Acro? It's something acro. Yeah, let me check. Acrophobia, yes, the fear of heights. But anyways, you're still watching the Camnet Breakfast, and we're talking about what is your take on the government's approach of combating CADERISM, and also later on zooming into the headlines. We have quite a number of stories that we'll get to look at. One of them is actually the rainfall that was there on Thursday, and the damage that it left behind in Kalingalinga or Mtendere, one of the two townships where some poles, ZESCO poles, are actually tilting on some affected houses. We'll get to look at that story later on. But right about now, we're getting into money market.
We have to understand how our currency is performing pressures there, so that we understand there.
Yeah. Okay, so the United States dollar is buying at 16 kwacha.7 ngwe and selling at 17 kwacha.7 ngwe, and then the British pound is buying at 21 kwacha.54 ngwe and selling at 21 kwacha.96 ngwe. The euro is buying at 18 kwacha.89 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha.26 ngwe. South African rand is not that much. Buying at 1 kwacha.7 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha.09 ngwe. So that is your foreign exchange rate as of today.
Yes, a bit of gain on the kwacha. It has been in the range of 17 and 18, so it has appreciated. Yeah, I think that's a good news for us as a country. When the currency is performing better, we know that the economic fortunes are getting better. We just hope that the kwacha will continue to perform in that manner and go as low as 14.
Yes, of course. Yesterday when I was on the news desk, there's some story that actually caught my attention, the importation of onions. And there was a statement made by one of the country managers, ShopRite country managers, to say the farmers cannot be part of the food chain because they don't have enough onions to be part of the food chain, which is quite very disappointing.
Yeah, and we've been with this story for this week, and the Zambia National Farmers Union was advancing the notion that the chain store is just not willing to support local farmers because they believe that there is a capacity from both the commercial farmers as well as the smallholder farmers. So the issue that is being advanced by the chain store is not here nor there, because at the end of the day, according to ZNFU, they want to advance the importation of onions from South Africa, because it will be creating a business for farmers that are based in South Africa, and they would want to do that. You know, these chain stores, at the end of the day, they also have that responsibility. They also want to make sure that they prioritize themselves or where they're coming from. But as a country also, we have a responsibility to ensure that we grow our sector. And talking about farming, it's one of the sectors that the government has looked at to say this is a viable sector that needs to be strengthened. And looking at what the government did is to ban or restrict the importation of onions so that they can be banned from the locals. But the chain store is advancing that notion that the local market can't satisfy the supply, but
which is a lie,
which they are disagreeing. And as a country, if we are to be serious, those are measures that we need to be taking to ensure that we help that farmer there, like you said, so that they can be able to be able to make money through supplying to these chain stores, because at the end of the day, when they are able to supply at a sustainable level, they will be able to go from small to large-scale farmers.
Which is very true. And also, I feel like the banning of importation of onions hasn't been taken seriously. It's been received with so much mixed emotions. But I feel like we need to put our foot down, because at the end of the day, we are trying to grow our economy and also encourage our small-scale farmers to actually do more so that they can be on the other side of the farming. And also talking about farming, there are some farmers were advised to do a harvest in their fields for those crops that have matured, because there has been a prediction by the meteorological departments that the rainfall will have rainfall up until the end of April or early April. So I'm just hoping that the farmers actually get the help that they need during this particular tough times, I would call it.
Just now we try to zoom in or check what is happening in the world of sport. What are some of the games you can watch as you prepare for today? Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah, so some of the games in the English Premier League are as follows. We have Arsenal, who will be playing against Manchester United today. This will be an interesting encounter, an interesting match to watch as well. We just hope that Manchester United will be able to...
Looking at the previous game, though.
Manchester City also have a match today with Watford. This one is at 16 hours, 16 p.m. I also have Brentford up against Tottenham. And Leicester City will be playing against Aston Villa. The Norwich City will be playing up with Newcastle United. Then we have Burnley up against Wolves. So those are the games that will be taking place in the EPL. But we also have weekend, for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we have Liverpool against Everton. Everton is actually putting up a good fight. We just don't know whether they will manage to stop the Reds. And we also have Crystal Palace and Leeds. But for this and other sports items, you can be sure to catch off the pitch because they will be discussing these fixtures as well as in the local league to help you get abreast on what is happening in the world of sport. Precious.
Yes, of course. So now remember that you can also get to interact with us on set. That's 0968 675273. That's 0968 675273. Or get to our Facebook platform. A topic has been posted out there for you. You can send in your contributions. So now moving on, let's get into zooming into the headlines and see what stories caught our attention in the course of the week. One of them, which is where the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Mr. Gary Nkombo, went into intercity bus terminals and managed to at least chase out some cowboys with allegations that they were selling drugs. So let's get into this and then we'll join with the rest on the other side.
Police in Lusaka Friday morning fought running battles with cowboys at intercity bus terminals who staged a protest after they were chased from operating in the premises by the Lusaka City Council with the help of the council police. The cowboys, who were agitated by police presence, then began to bend tires and throw stones at innocent pedestrians, a situation that prompted the Zambian police to swing into action. The cowboys spoken to by Camnet News have explained that the commissions they are given by bus operators for bringing a customer is their only source of income, and that if they are chased from the terminals, they will have no other sources of income.
How are these people going to survive? That's why
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, who rushed to the scene, has however explained that the decision to eliminate the cowboys from the station was arrived at following rumors that they have been selling drugs.
What is going on at Intercity now, which is my biggest worry, is that they're not only cowboys, they have started selling narcotics there, ganja, drugs inside there. And so in the process of cleaning up, the management of Intercity decided to tell the bus operator to select 2 cowboys at least per day so that they organize.
The minister, while at Intercity, also observed that suspected UPND cadres have been operating a political office at the terminals, thereby terrorizing innocent businesses.
What are you doing? I'm getting the bike. Well, what is this all you? Real Chan office? Yeah, Bachama. Bachama, what do you do? Oh, no, what do you do in this office? What's your job here? I want to know. You are idling. You know that idling is an offense. Who gave you this office?
The same was also observed at Buseko Market in Lusaka, where UPND cadres have chased a PF supporter from his shop and taken over the premise, which has now become a UPND political office.
Okay, the actual owner, the actual owner, I don't know. Where's the end shop? Even back or her back shop. No problem. Because the owner knows what. I went up on a UPND, I tried to na poka. Ola ujana poka uja PF na hivi baba kumalasi mapenda UPND shop ya mena na manga mtu wakaenda. The
minister has since closed both UPND political offices and has directed that the shop at Buseko Market be given back to the owner.
Too much CADERISM at Lumumba, at Soweto, and here at Buseko. Fortunately, we've had a good discussion with everyone here today. Okay? And we are hoping that going forward, everybody is going to work according to the markets and bus station.
What? Reporting, Camnet.
To our surprise, these people started building at night, and they've lifted their buildings up to lintel level, in fact up to roof level. The two that have been left there, I have asked them to prepare themselves for evacuation. The normal way we did the people in Camnet or Comesa, we asked them to drop those makeshift things on their own. As you know, this is a road reserve, and what we found out, what you see here is just a piece of an iceberg. The whole stretch, right round up to the shopping mall, we have an individual called JJ Kasongo, a Congolese man, who was a supporter of PF, who is behind this whole thing. I invited him to a meeting today, and he lied to me that he's up on the copper belt. So I have a date with him to discuss with him to find out where he drew the power from to distribute land in a road reserve. That's one. Second, we also discovered, Priska, for those of you who want to know, a torture chamber here, just under a kilometer from here, a place called Neto Forces, where there's a pit about my size, where PF cadres, including Kasongo, and all these people used to go and torture UPND members by sinking them into water with a view to drown.
Well, in case you missed out, that was what was happening as of yesterday. There was so much going on, eh? Mm-hmm. The demolition, though.
Yes. It was rather
I feel like a whole lot of those will be happening during this period. Considering how Mr. Gary Nkombo is moving, at the pace he is moving, we'll see quite a number of those demolitions.
Yes, but those are issues that we've been talking about, Precious, that pertain to issues of illegality where people do not sought the permission of the local authority. Mm-hmm. They just do things with impunity. You just identify an idle land. Mm-hmm. You just say, today, I'm the land official. Mm-hmm. You allocate your friends pieces of land, and the next time you see there are structures. So sometimes the local authorities have been reluctant to bring down these structures. And but we see Mr. Nkombo trying to be proactive on this matter. But he also said that he had engaged the people who had put up that structure.
Yeah, he sent in a stop notice.
But they continued, they dared him, and he said he needed to meet them today. Or yesterday, when they were about to do the demolition, so that they can have a discussion before that. But he shunned him. So now they had to go ahead with that demolition. So my piece of advice to everyone who is trying to give themselves land
allocate themselves
land, especially during, especially in road reserves or areas where there are installations such as electricity equipment or water installations. You just have to stay away from those facilities. Otherwise,
there's no compromise when it comes
to those. Yes, so just make sure that you stay within your yard.
Stay in your lane.
You don't need to to extend your house because I see Precious. Just because you want to put a shop in front, only you find that people tend to be closer to the road. And in unplanned settlements like Mississippi, you find that the road is just next to a house and a shop. So any slight accident, it can hit into a house, and that can be a calamity. So I think we need to just be proactive as citizens and just do the right thing. And it's also about time the local authorities be proactive and work on these issues. As regard to issues of cowboys and CADERISM, that's another milestone that they want to take. But it's also,
I feel like they'll come back.
They'll come back, but they need to find something for them to do. A
permanent solution for them to do.
Yes, because you see, they said that's where they also earn a living. But again, there's at Intercity, there's also another environment there. When you are going there, you know, Precious, that you are going to Livingstone.
Yeah.
You are going to Mazabuka. Immediately you're reaching there, people are all over you. Others will carry you, others are already
don't carry you, Patrick. Stop exaggerating.
That's a clip.
You're serious?
There's a clip.
Well, I know the part where when you're driving through, they know you're traveling somewhere, so they want to help you with the bag so that you give them a kaliki.
There's a woman who was literally, when about Tenga Festi, you know, that kind of element. So everyone wants business. No, they want a catch. So they want you, okay, you go so that go with me, go. You know, that arrangement. That's where they make money because there's a commission you get. They call it junta. I think you heard that guy saying junta. So when you bring someone, probably if a bus fare is 150, you get 20 kwacha junta.
Oh,
so for instance,
5 people. That's like.
Yeah, I'm just giving an example, but it's a good money they get out of the junta arrangement. So now getting that source of income is something as well.
I feel that they should also, the authorities should put that into consideration, considering the fact that they have decided to do that to earn a living, unlike getting themselves involved in illicit behavior. So I think a permanent solution should be found. They should find something for them to do. I don't know what. Or just maybe his reason is because there was some cleanup and they found some drugs, and so hence them deciding to remove them out of the. But it's not everybody.
Yeah, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. But you know what? Places like that become life for criminal activities.
Oh, yeah,
and so if you find most of the junkies, those people would attack people at the Kamwala flyover bridge. Most of the time they spend their time at the intercity bus terminals. So they will be there, but they are the people. Some of them are those with criminal mentality. Those are those that are now denting the entire system. You see. So at the end of the day, when cleaning up this, you find that council police are on the ground, but immediately the minister left. They also left with the minister. So the situation actually remains as it is. If you go back there, it is business as usual. That's what has been happening.
True. But anyways, we just hope that a permanent solution will be found concerning the callboys and also ending CADERISM in these facilities.
You may be shocked, Precious, that facility that was demolished. After 6 months, you find someone has put up the structure again. Because what? Proactivity.
We are Zambians. But anyways, talking about land, there was also a story in Tendere where some traders were complaining that they had been selling on a certain piece of land and they've been waiting. They've been on the list waiting for title deeds, but then they were told to move out and somebody else has actually occupied the land. So there's been so many land wrangles that has been going around. I hope that you won't have people that will come remove you from your plot saying that they also have title deeds. But anyways, let's get into this and then we'll have the discussion on the other side.
Land in Zambia is an asset that has not been simple and straightforward from time immemorial, as there have been cases of colliding title deeds for the same land, among other similar wrangles. The same has not been free from allegations of corruption, hence calls for land audits to eliminate irregularities. This group of traders at a market in Lusaka's Mutendere East Watchtower area alleged that they have been displaced from the land they were trading from, further alleging that the area councillor has helped a preferred group of people to acquire title deeds for the same land at the local authority on condition that they pay him 1,000 kwacha each. The traders allege that this is despite them being on the waiting list for the acquisition of title deeds for the same land for the construction of shops.
We have heard that the councillor was selling plots here. Now, our main issue, our main concern, the UPND announced that there is no any councillor who will be going to be selling the plots around the areas. But at the moment, these people you are seeing here, they are complaining of the same. The councillor is issuing plots, and he's telling people that he went to council. Now we are appealing to the local government minister, Gary Nkombo, to come in and intervene over these plots here.
Nimirira community because community yalira maningi. Olo ine na ine nenze na ka stand pamene panenze ogulisa apo. But koma sembe banauza abantu pamene banakamba ti bantu bachita prime achiteni ma papers. Sembe banatiitana bonse kutiuza kuti bwerani wonse mutenge ma papers. Manje tidabwa kuti bamene bali pa ma plot paja ni bantu benangu kana bachosa kuti mukamufunsa benangu atininkala ku matero. Benangu atininkala ku mutendere. But sibenze pa malo pametenzeriri.
So ndiye baja bamene bali kuja bakumbana ma foundation binangu makawo shamene nzepo bachosa vija kuonesa kuti beva pasa mwamene mja maplot. Ushe land yopasa kudala bali na mpamvu bwanje eve yochosa mwaja abantu nofaka mubao. Makadazi amene ali kukana aba ndiye makadazi. Councillor ni makadazi. Because councillor ali bebavu hivyo nsa kutangaza gulisa land. Bagulisa land. So ndiye vuto yamene ili kuno.
The group of traders who have been accused of acquiring the land dubiously have however distanced themselves from the allegations, stating that they acquired the land using legal procedures and not through the area councillor.
Ndiye offer letter yamene tinatenga ku council. Bakansela si bamene banatipasa malo ife tinachita apply ku council. So abo bonse bamene bapanga chongo ati bakansela banagulisa malo ma 1000 ife stiziba kuona mungaone na ma receipts atenzo lipilira ku banki ku council ayo ma receipts.
Ise chamene tipempako ba polisi batithandizeko chifukwa ndabayise tili na mapepa bakamba titikambomanga weve bazambo kwanya ba polisi tithandize nkoni.
Meanwhile, in a phone interview, area councillor Mr. Shadrack Mwanza explains that the only role he played was the witnessing of the handing over of the land by the Lusaka City Council LCC to the traders.
That's why I'm telling you to say, it is the council engineers, the surveyors, they're the ones that were handling that issue. I don't even know the size, I don't even know the word. Of me, I was just standing as a witness to say, surely this one was there, or this one wasn't there. I was just a witness, that's all.
The first group of traders have however called on the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to take interest in how the land was given out. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Well, there you have it. We're hoping that that situation will be sorted out. It's actually kind of very unfair knowing that you have been occupying a certain land and you have actually followed the procedure of getting the title deeds for that particular land only to be removed and told, no, I'm the one that's getting the land. So we're hoping that that will be sorted out.
Yeah, we are hoping that, Precious, because at the end of the day, we just hope that the right people occupy that land, and
yes,
these are land matters that have been with us for a while now, and we continue with them under the United Party for National Development Administration. Just now we're zooming our last two stories, the councillors' allowances, so that we just on this story we are zooming in. You two can add your perspective so that we can get the conversation going. On this councillor story, they are requesting that they should be paid a little bit more.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. I know in certain institutions that pay the people well, and they do a certain job that requires them to push in certain numbers so that people can be charged. It's one of the facilities or institutions that has low or no rate of corruption. So if the CDF has been increased, you might as well increase the allowances for the councillors, because that's more responsibilities. Imagine, Soko, you have been given 35,000 kwacha as a CDF for a certain project in your community, and your monthly allowance is 3,000 kwacha. I will try and play around with the numbers and push in the 15. I'm not saying I'm corrupt. I'm just saying, trying to put myself in the shoes. I would get the 15, deal with the project, and keep the 5 for myself because I feel I am underpaid, but I can see the money coming in. So them requesting that the allowances should be increased, considering that the CDF has been increased as well, is not a bad suggestion. So I feel like it should be one of the things that should be considered.
You too can add your views. This is Precious's perspective.
Yeah.
I have my perspective, which I'll give just right after this clip. Councillors oversee the ward and facilitate development on behalf of the local authority. Councillors in Zambia used to get allowances amounting to 700 kwacha per month, but the Patriotic Front administration raised it to 3,000 kwacha. The justification by the Minister of Local Government then was that councillors are part-time workers and could not be given more money. But this debate has resurfaced, with Petauke Central Member of Parliament Emmanuel J. Banda championing the agenda. According to Mr. Banda, we've increased the Constituency Development Fund under the United Party for National Development UPND administration from 1.6 million kwacha to 25.7 million kwacha. This means the scope of the work for councillors has increased, thus the need to upscale their earnings. It says the failure to do so means tempting councillors to dip their hands into the CDF coffers.
Councillors forming companies so that they can be part and parcel of the 25.7 million for CDF. Let's give them salary so that they shouldn't even think of forming a company, or maybe getting a grant from that money, because it will be corruption now. Because they're the people who are entitled to give people. So, but if we are not paying them, they will be getting that money. Grant, it's the councillors. They will be asking their children. They will be asking the wife. Even the same councillor will be now applying for grant. He will be applying for loan from CDF. So we want to avoid that. That's why even now, I'm still saying, let's pay the councillor what is due to them, and looking at the job they are doing now.
Councillors are known to be first respondents to various issues happening in the community, attending to issues such as crime, funerals, and touring projects, among other things. Hence, UPND Kawata constituency Kamwala Ward 5 Councillor Mainda Simata says the huge CDF allocation has come with more responsibilities. Hence, it is vital that the allowances are increased to sustainable levels. He says it is unacceptable that councillors can be earning less than the lowest paid council casual workers.
Well, it's very difficult to pinpoint on what would be the ideal amount. But what is important is that councillors be be given remuneration that allows them to work. Of course, these things will be determined through the Treasury to the Cabinet and other stakeholders like Lagaz that look into the welfare of councillors to find what the ideal amount is. But basically, it's laughable that a councillor should be earning lower than the lowest paid government worker or council worker for that matter.
The question is, do councillors need a pay rise? Well, your opinion matters. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Following the rains that fell on Thursday evening in Lusaka's Kalingalinga compound, this poor Fosesco could not stand the wind, thereby falling with its cables sagging down the nearby houses. Affected residents in an interview with Camnet News say they have since reported the case to the power utility company, but till now there seems to be no positive response.
Michael Study, and we reside here. This is our boarding house, and it happened last night. So when we were coming from campus, we just found the boys as is about to fall. So we were kind of scared to say this situation, it's dangerous because this is a high voltage line, so we are not safe. In short, we had called the ZESCO last night, but it seems like they haven't attended to us yet. So
I called the ZESCO. They said they will come. They were asked for directions, of which I gave them. I explained that the pole is almost falling, but up to this time.
They fear for their safety, calling for ZESCO to come and address the situation.
And actually stay here. The time came from campus last night. We just found the pole, like it was almost falling down. Then we were scared, saying, no, this pole might cause any danger to our health. Because as you can see, the lines, they are kind of slunking, and then the same things might happen to the surrounding neighbors. So, like last night, we tried to contact the ZESCO people, of which they didn't give us a response, but up to now, nothing has been done. So we are kindly pleading to the ZESCO people that they might come on time to at least rescue us.
And area councillor Mukubesa Nyoni has expressed disappointment, saying the laxity by ZESCO threatens the lives of affected people, challenging the power utility company to replace its poles, which have weakened due to the rains in the compound.
Our poles, they seem to be weakened with the heavy downfall of rain. I think the engineers should do something so that the same problem is not repeated elsewhere.
Meanwhile, efforts to contact ZESCO proved futile by broadcast time.
Residents fear for their lives, staying for long hours with this kind of an arrangement, and they're calling for ZESCO to come and address this situation as soon as possible. Reporting for Camnet News, I'm Alex Shimba.
Well, I can just see Mr. Alex Chishimba there with a stand-up there.
I can't. Why was he behind that pole? He wasn't scared of it falling on our way. He wasn't scared of it falling on him.
Imagine, the confidence.
Risking.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting story as well. But it also speaks to the issue of late response by the power utility firm ZESCO. And this is one other challenge that is regular, especially in various communities. ZESCO response, sometimes they don't come on time. Sometimes they don't come at all. You need to make follow-ups. You need to continue calling. You need to ensure that you follow up with your complaint number. But in that case, that's an emergency because it may be a calamity if that pole eventually falls, because many households are already affected there if lack of electricity, and we just hope that it will be rectified as of today. Precious.
Yes, of course. And also I feel like the problem of poles tilting and the cables just hanging around and looking at the situation, which is not supposed to be rainy season, but we still have some rainfalls, is very dangerous. A lot can happen. And considering that most of our communities are flooded during the rainy season.
Yes.
So I feel like the power utility company should come to the aid of those people. But anyways, right up now we get into our interviews of the day, and then later on, remember that you can still also come through live on set on 0968675273, and then we can get interactives. There are quite a number of stories that we have spoken about in zooming into the headlines, so you can choose which one you feel you have an opinion on. Right about now, let's just take a short break. We'll join you on the other side.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're still watching Camnet Breakfast with me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and I had Patrick Soko earlier on. Now, getting into our first segment, actually last segment of the show, which is the interview, just trying to understand how the scholarship loans also fell short annually to award the eligible students. So we have, I would call them concerned citizens, hashtag concerned students, hashtag voice of the voiceless. Yeah, let's play introduction. My name is Precious.
My name is Mwane Steve. I'm the council president.
Okay.
My name is Jonathan Mulonda. I'm the council president.
Okay.
My name is Chilekwa Mambwe. I am an ambassador of Ubuntu. I'm the promoter of Ubuntu in Zambia.
You look Ubuntu.
Thank you.
So let's quickly get into the discussion of why it is. Let's start with the first question, why it's important for someone to acquire higher education after they've actually done well with their tertiary level.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it is very important to acquire tertiary education because it measures one ability in the practical program they want to major in. For example, when you're at secondary level, you just learn in general, but when you go to tertiary education, you go to a specific field that you want to do. For example, you want to do journalism, you want to study medicine, you want to study biomedical engineering, pharmacy, and all those programs. So it really mentors somebody and really makes somebody to focus on the particular field that they applied for and what they want to study and become as professionals in life.
Okay, so now let's quickly get to what the problem is currently when it comes to school loans and scholarships.
Okay, maybe before we even get to that, you asked a very important question, why it is very important to have, an educated generation. I'll give you an example of one of the richest or wealthiest countries in the world, South Korea. South Korea doesn't have any natural resources compared to Zambia, but they are number one, producer of, coffee, the whole world. All they do is value addition. They get the coffee seed from Africa. South Korea is number 2 producer of, petroleum, the whole world. All they have done is they have the best refinery equipment. And what is it that South Korea did for them to build their nation or their economy? They actually concentrated on educating their generation. Okay, then, because as at 1967, Zambia's economy was 7 times bigger than South Korea. But can you compare ourselves to them today? We can't. What did they do? They used to use their people. They sent their people as expatriates, nurses, doctors, teachers. And another country that did that is Nigeria. We had a lot of expatriates from Nigeria, those days of the Kaundas and the like, who were coming to teach in Zambia. And those people were paying serious taxes, to their, nation. So that's what South Korea did. So you find that just having an educated generation is money for the nation. Right now we have, nurses who go to UK to go and work, and when you look at the money that they get, you can't compare it to the nurses who are in Zambia.
Sure.
So really, we need an educated generation because, for instance, when you need engineers, when you need doctors, when you need, teachers, you need, people from, different lawyers from different fields. That is what can actually grow our economy. And really, we cannot overemphasize education is a very important thing for our country.
Do you have a take on that one as well?
No, I feel he's exhausted much, that I would say. Yeah, because a generation that has people that are uneducated is a doomed generation. So that's my take on it.
Okay, so now let's get into the problem that we have when it comes to loans, school loans and scholarship currently.
Yeah, maybe there we can delve into the student problem, the challenges that students are facing countrywide.
So I feel government does not fail, no. Government actually manages, but they fall short because they've got limited resources and there's a lot that government has to cater for to the nation. And us as youths, the generation of today, we decided to say, no, we can no longer wait for government to do everything for us, but we have to be proactive and come up with solutions to make student life easy. Which is tuition fee, meal allowance. So some of the challenges we face as students, I'll give an example of our sisters or the girl child. So it's really, really hard for a girl child to finish their education because they face, or whenever they're facing financial challenges, they always go to the streets and immerse themselves in promiscuous activities, which is a bad thing. Yeah. Which is a very, very bad thing because at the end of the day, they'll not only be graduating with that degree, they'll also be graduating maybe with a disease or like Mambo said yesterday, they will also be graduating with a finished body. Yeah, so to avoid such scenarios and situations, we prefer coming up with solutions ourselves because we are the people having the problems. We are the ones getting those problems firsthand. So we have students committing suicide because they're unable to fend for, they're unable to come up with tuition fees and they feel left out and they feel say, okay, you know what, what's there for me if I cannot get educated? There's nothing in this world for me. So they tend to bad vices, they tend to misguided decisions and they end up doing wrong things. So to avoid having such scenarios, in which we've seen even in our own campuses, we've decided to come up with a solution that's going to help our students with meal allowances and tuition fees. So those are some of the solutions we've failed to say, okay, we cannot just keep on looking at the problems that we're facing and expecting other people to come solve them for us when we're once facing them. We know best how to sort them out because if I say, no, I'm going to wait for that person to bring food on my table, they won't bring it. I have to just say, you know what, let me get that hoe and till the land and I'm going to eat. So this is our solution. This is us tilling the land using our heads.
So how are you doing that? What is the solution?
The solution
is in ABC, Lemons Land, yeah.
Okay, so ABC goes like this. National Institute of Public Administration Students Union and Illinois College of Applied Sciences. So Ekoso and Nipaso formed the cooperative known as Zambia National Development Team. Zambia National Development Team came up with a cooperative that will look at beekeeping, also look at fuel servicing, also look at farming, that's what is dairy farming, so the dairy products and the dairy meat as well. So firstly I'll exhaust more on the beekeeping. So the beekeeping cooperative is going to be the source of the finances that we're going to be providing to the students that need financial assistance when it comes to tuition fee and meal allowances. So the beekeeping cooperative, which the two of us decided, no, I think this is the direction we're going to go. And we approached Chileko Mambo here and said, okay, this is the idea we have, and as the father of cooperatives in Zambia, what do you have? What's your take on it? How can you help us?
What a title.
Then he came in with these ideas. He said, okay, no, I have professionals that can help you. I have people that actually know what beekeeping is. I have people that can actually give you a prospect of what you're expecting.
Maybe let me just also help on that one. By the way, thank you for the title. You know, we looked at their predecessors, or they looked at their predecessors. They said, Chileko, look here, you are, you know, heading this Ubuntu in Zambia. And they have seen our team, you know, keeps 40,000, 50,000 birds supplying to Zambia. And now we have got a new contract to be supplying 70,000 birds to another company in Livingston, Heartland. Okay, they are an American company. And so they asked me questions. How are you guys making it? Who is funding you? And we told them we are funding ourselves. Okay, through Ubuntu, running cooperatives that are, you know, working as viable cooperatives, not begging balls. So they said, okay, fine. As students, what can we do for starters since we don't have the money? I told them to say, okay, fine. We know there are other funds in other institutions, but it may take long. So we talked to our bank and we said, we'd like to help these students through corporate social responsibility. So what we are doing as Ubuntu is that our membership is actually also coming on board to be part of this project. So they are going to fund, we are going to fund this project. We are going to put up a million here. And then we have gone to our bank and saying, can you put in another million so that the 2 million kwacha can create 2,000 jobs in Northwestern Province, where we want to put the beehives. And you find that even if those people will be working there, will be getting a 5,000 kwacha, regardless of their educational background. Teaching them how to make a beehive and how to take care of, they can still do it without any grade 12 certificate. You find that they'll be getting even a 5-pin that some teacher somewhere may be getting to there. No, this is what, you know, this informal sector can do, the private sector can do. So what we are trying to tell you is that we are capable this year to create 2,000 jobs, you know, using our membership, you know, shares and the bank. And it is from this money that will come from the bank that will be growing money for the meal allowances and for the tuition fees. It is true what he's saying. We have a lot of young people out there. People are watching us right now know that a lot of young girls are using their bodies to pay for their accommodation, to pay their tuition fee, and to buy their food. It is a sorry situation. And apart from that, we have a situation where people have been committing suicide. I'm a victim. You know, I once attempted committing suicide when I was a teenager because no one could pay my school fees. So young people go through a lot. And Nipaso and Ekoso coming together to say, we are going to do better than our predecessors. We are not going to pick the stones, but we'll pick our brains and come up with solutions for the problems we are facing. It is something that I would like governments actually to support. Like yesterday, I talked to Director of Standards and Curriculum, Minister of Education, who introduced me to Director of Higher Education and University, who will be meeting next week. Why are we meeting them? We want the government to support us. It is not the money we want. We want, political will to come on this. This is the only way we can develop Zambia. Before Steve comes in, I would like to mention to you that we should be having insoni. Insoni ebuntu. How can we be a nation that is just full of drunkards? Many young people are just drinking. If you go and yet, for Zambia to gain political independence, it took Dr. Kaunda, who was a youth Abena Kapwepo, who were youth, Abena Ruben Kamanga, who were youth, Venon Mwanga at 19 years old, and Arabi at 27. To actually fight for the political independence of this country, meaning for the economic independence of this country to be won. We need economy in our hands. It will take the young generation to fight for the economic independence of this country.
Just to come in a little bit, we have our we got our freedom and independence, but the only thing that we lack is that from our colonialism, we got our independence, but those some people, as Simon Kapwepo said, if we don't take care of our independence very well, there's some people where we got our independence from, they'll come back as investors. And I love this statement because it's actually happening.
It's happening. It's true. It's true.
I like that.
People that we got our independence
are the ones that are coming back as investors.
It means that we've already lost our financial independence. And how do we get back our financial independence? It actually starts with us, the youths, because most of the time our mind is that when we are done with our tertiary education is just to wait for us to apply for a job somewhere so that we are picked. For example, what is happening, we've got the
medical personnel.
So for the teachers, the required number is actually 30,000. But how many people have applied? Over 95,000. And what happens to the surplus of those people that won't be picked? So our project in connection with this scenario is that it's not only going to be providing mere allowances and tuition fees to the students, but also providing jobs to the students that are done with school. Of course, government will do its part, but what part are we doing as citizens? What part are we doing as youths? Are we just going to sit and wait? Of course, they say life begins at 40, but do they mean that you're supposed to start making money at 40? No, you're supposed to have been done and achieved something with your life by the age of 40, so that you are relaxing and you're enjoying your money
at 40. To your 60.
I like that, Steve. Sorry for cutting you short. You know, life begins at 40.
What does it mean?
It is a lie.
Start making money at 40.
Interpret it, okay? By 40, you should have actually made it. By 40, you should have actually, expired from the civil service. Okay, so what he's mentioning is actually true. The 95,000, for instance, who might have applied for teaching, you find that if 30,000 are employed, the rest may complain to say the government is not fair. No, the government is fair. The government has to look at how much they have that they can pay those that they are employing. And now, with the rest, what do we do? That's where we come in as the cooperative, as the Ubuntu family. Look at Kenya. Kenya, you find that they have the Ubuntu Bank, which we are also creating by the end of next year. Okay? Great. Kenya, they have the Ubuntu Bank that is owned mainly by cooperatives. They have the highest number of shares. Apart from that, they will be flying to Kenya with ECOS 1 and Nipasu 1 this year to go and see how they are doing the beekeeping, to go and see how they are doing the dairy farming. They've got milk that even go to waste. Okay? So even us, we are putting these, Ekosu and Nipasu into our dairy. We are putting them into their beekeeping. We are putting them into the filling station. There are mini filling stations, 2,000 of them, that are marked for Zambia from our partners outside. And big people up there are doing the talking with the council, with the Minister of Youth. So we would like to give even 5 filling stations to each institution, so that we can not only depend on beekeeping, but we can also raise money from the fuel, so that when we raise that money, we'll be able to have a criteria that we use to support the students that will deserve our support as a team.
Okay. I have hailed Evelyn Horn and Nipa coming through and joining and with the father of cooperatives, as he tagged you. I want to understand what criteria will be used to choose the students. Are you only looking at these particular 2 institutions, or maybe there are other institutions that will come in and there is a certain procedure that needs to be followed for them to join? Because looking at these initiatives, there are quite a number of universities and colleges that want such an initiative, but they don't know how to get through to you guys. Is it just subjected to these people, or maybe other institutions can actually come through?
Thank you very much. I think a pilot, that's why the word a pilot project. We are beginning only with them, and then as we roll it out, we will actually go to other, schools. And then the other thing I would like to mention, like we said, Insoni Ewuntu, go to Madras. Who is owning Madras? It is the Indian community. What kind of houses? Oh my God, they are mansions. Where are the Zambians? Kabia Mukawata. You find it otuma and dotuno tudia, Emwabama Zambians, Nadama Flat Yambi, Emwabama Zambians. Go to Emersdale. Who is owning Emersdale? It is the Indian community. What kind of houses? Go to Ndola. Where are the Somalian people? So you find that a lot of us are in, like I was seeing something on social media that was saying that, Africans are not proud of their ancestors. And every time we are in the church praying and binding, generational cases, when the Indians and the whites are busy, raising generational wealth, now no one has bewitched us. So listen, for economic independence to be achieved in this country, we need this generation and the generation above to fight. Dr. Kaunda, the time they were fighting for political independence, were there no elders? Yeah. They were elders. Did they cry to them? No. Why should this generation be looking every time Kuriba Mutati, every time Kuriba Mirupi? No. We have reached the V-speed. Those who are in the aviation industry, they understand what we mean. We have reached the V-speed and there is no turning back. We are saying we are here to fight for the economic independence of our country. Before they come in, go to any more. Look at the products that are there. Everything is foreign. The only Zambian product is a person packing for you who is wearing foreign clothes. We must be ashamed of ourselves. Steve.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coming to your question on the criteria that we are using, basically in choosing students on who we are giving these scholarship and meal allowances, it's open to everybody. And the criteria that we are basically using is just the same as the government criteria in giving bursaries and loans. Yeah, so, and some people out there, they might think that if you're not part of Ubuntu, or I mean the Zambia National Development Team together with partnership with the Ubuntu, they think you cannot benefit from the Zambia National Development Team, which isn't the case. Yeah, actually it is free to everybody as long as you are qualified for it and as long as you are eligible for the same meal allowances and the tuition fee that we are coming in and giving to the students. So what we are using is the same as the government, and we will be picking students based on merit, because there are some students maybe they are not even focusing on academics. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, they're not focusing on the academics, so we cannot continue pumping into people that are not interested in these academics. So we are really looking for people that are interested, and for those people that can, for those students that are willing to join it. It's open to other universities, but sometimes and most of the time you cannot bring a lot of people at once in order to start something. Yeah, you need a stepping stone. So I believe that together with the NIPASU one, together with the NIPASU executive, will be a stepping stone and will motivate a lot of institutions out there to join and see the benefit of the Zambia National Development Team.
Oh, okay, so we have 5 minutes to squeeze in what we need to squeeze in before I let you guys go.
All right, so he mentioned something very important, which Simon Mwasakapwepwe, the late Niso rest in peace, mentioned, that we should handle our independence with care, because the colonial masters we see go today may come back as investors. There are a lot of colonial masters who have come as investors. What they did, they gave us a political independence. When they were giving us that, they sat down where they were in their countries, and they said, okay, let's give them political independence. Meanwhile, the economy will be in our hands. And we have neighboring countries, I can't mention them on set, where 85% of their wealth is owned by foreign nationals who are claiming that they are also indigenous, people there. And that's why they wake up any day, begin to kill their fellow, Africans like dogs. Do we want to reach that? No. Can Zambia reach that? Yes. Zambia would reach that. What do I mean? Simple. Where are Zambians? Most of us, we are rushing to the urban areas. 2 by 2 plots. Mwakanyama. Where are the foreigners? They are coming in numbers. They have gathered money in their countries. They are coming in our outskirts. They are buying huge chunks of land. They are putting up flats like in town. Most of the beautiful, edifices you see in town, they don't belong to Zambians. They are putting up industries in rural areas. And the money they are making is for the generational wealth of their children's children. Okay? And now, Zambians, what are we doing? We are busy looking for jobs. That's why when you look at this Ubuntu, we are saying enough is enough. We are saying this is a fight that does not involve bloodshed but brains. We are saying we are ready to create jobs for our people. We are ready to create generational wealth so that when we create this generational wealth, we are going to even build flats. Look at Kenya. Kenya, you find that the Ubuntu family there, they are doing even houses, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and roads for the government. And at the end of the day, you find that that is the wealth that is going to their future generations. What are we doing? Busy on social media, doing nonsense, crying. For how long are we going to cry? Who is more Zambian? A foreigner having land in your country and companies, and you having an NRC like a voter's card? Zambians must wake up, and we have reached the V-speed.
Okay, so just to sum up, I would like to remind you that doing something the same way and expecting new results is foolish of you, foolish of me. So this is the same way. This is the method our predecessors have been going by, and now we're trying to show you, and we're trying to tell everyone out there that this is the approach we're taking. We're no longer going to sit down, no longer going to wait for things to be done for us, but we'll do them ourselves. We'll say, okay, this is what we have. Show us what you have. And this is how we want to work. Help us. So it's a call to the government out there to say, okay, as the youth of today, this is what we can do for you. These are the brains we have. This is what we're doing. We're not going to keep going back to the streets whenever we are aggrieved or have problems as students and
protesting, burning tires,
riots and whatnot. No. We're going to change our approach. We're going to use our heads. That's why we're in those institutions, because we are there to use our heads. But the moment we pick those stones up, we're not using our heads. We're thinking with the stones. So let's now change the way we just change the narrative, change the approach. We're going to use our heads, and we need government to come in and help us in the best ways they could.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Just to conclude on this one, for example, our institution in 2020, government gave students 100% bursary, and then after 3 months, they communicated to the institution that it's not actually 100% bursary, it's a 50% bursary. Since then, we've been appealing, we've been all over social media, students have been going to the ministry, but nothing has been done since the time they cut the bursary. And we've lost a lot of students, not because they're failing, but because they're unable to pay the other 50% bursary, of which it's so disturbing. As a president from the institution, they expect me to provide solutions, of which it's not like any other president anywhere whereby you've got even the revenues to offer solutions in form of money. You have to use your brain and reasoning in order for you to provide solution to the students. So as we are waiting for that, we know this Ubuntu, this Zambia National Development Team, it can it's a stepping stone for most students. But as we are waiting for the government, or as we are doing what we are doing, we have our cooperative, and of which it can help a lot of students in order to supplement on what government has already done, or on the efforts of the government. So we as students, that we are no longer focusing on going into the streets, as my colleague has said, but we are using our brains in order for us to solve problems and in order to maintain the welfare of our students in these higher learning institutions.
Okay, great. Am I allowed to let you go now?
Yeah, okay. We allow you.
I've been allowed to let them go, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we've also come to the end of the show. It's time for me to pack my bags, but I would love to say thank you to everybody that actually watched the show from the beginning to the end, and also a shout out to the person that has been glued from the time it started, Wiza Simpokolwe, on the other side. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, join me next time. Make sure that you make a date. On behalf of the father of cooperatives and his colleagues on the other side, good morning, and also thanks to Amos Lungu and Isaac Chifita on the other side, and also on behalf of Patrick Soko, have a beautiful morning. Good morning.